Lions fans, what's going on? It's your boy King, man. Let's talk about our current state of training camp and preseason. Where are we right now? Dan Campbell's had a lot to say at press conferences. We've heard a lot of reports, a lot of good things. Let's talk about all of it. All right, Lions fans. So let's talk. First and foremost, it's just been so different not being able to give you guys coverage over these last couple of days. I've been relying heavy on as many sources as I can to see what's going on with the Detroit Lions as far as practice. As we progress in preseason, as we prepare to go up against Carolina. So I've been leaning heavy on the Detroit Lions podcast. Make sure you guys are subscribed to that channel and following them on social media. A lot of good info, insider info. I am not considered media as of now, so I don't have the great access to really getting into the loop as far as getting that information when the Lions are away. So great source, Tim 20man on social media. Make sure you guys are following him on Twitter if you do have Twitter. Another great source to get good information about what's going on at camp. So, man, Dan Campbell, he pretty much told us what the Detroit Lions expect, what they're going to do as far as the evaluation process. And I think we need to really listen to what he's selling. He's selling us because he's actually doing what he's selling us. He told us that, the starters, us as fans, we want the starters to play, right? We want them to play in preseason games to give us an opportunity to see them and, to help satisfy that urge that we have to be, over optimistic as fans, right? So we're like, where are the starters? We want to see the starters play. Well, Dan Campbell, him as a coach, he has his own ways and his own methods of doing things. And I've learned and grown to trust what he decides to do. And what he's doing is allowing the younger guys that's trying to make the roster, that's trying to get in a good position to be successful, he's giving those guys the reps that they need during this preseason. But when it comes to the starters, the only thing that he's looking for them to get is the proper work that they need going into the season. You know what you're going to get out of Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know what you're going to get out of Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow. You know what you're going to get out of David Montgomery, right? So you want to see them guys out there in preseason simply because some of those guys are new additions to your team, right? But at the end of the day, a preseason game is not really going to progress anything when it comes to those guys. They need to be at practice, going hard at practice, putting the work in, getting themselves in season form, because those players are going to be great at what they do regardless. And that's just what we have to understand as a fan base. The selfish side of us says, man, hey, you don't want them to come out rusty and things like that. We've seen teams play, multiple series, play half of preseason games and come out in the regular season and still be rusty. So like I said, you just have to realize it's just not going to help that much. We have to be smart about this thing. Again, we have the Super Bowl champs the first week. We are 14 days away from kickoff. God, man, I just said that. 14 days away sounds so good, man. 2 weeks. Because it is currently Thursday. So we are 2 Thursdays away from kickoff, which is my off day, which is great. Man, I listen, anticipation is at an all-time high. But some of the fan base, we feel a certain type of way when it comes to preseason. Some of us seen the Lions versus the Jags, and kind of went overboard. So we talked about that in my previous video, right? You know, you got to realize that preseason is preseason, that Detroit Lions are not out there playing starters. You know, we didn't even play our top 7 offensive linemen. So, you know, you have to understand that these guys, you know, these rotational guys, they come in and play along starters. So obviously it helps them out in every single way. We're just trying to get the young guys some reps out there that's trying to make the roster and that's trying to get themselves going. And that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do as a team. So it's been a lot of, you know, recent charting, top 5, top 10s, and everything else. But most of all, it's been NFC North rankings. And I'm starting to see the Lions get disrespected a little bit, and I'm loving it. I absolutely love it. This is huge for me. Please disrespect us. I love being the underdog. I want to continue to be the underdog. Don't trust us. Keep putting, you know, the Vikings at number 1 and possibly the Bears or Green Bay ahead of us. Keep doing that, right? I've seen us as low as 3 when it comes to the NFC North. So, you know, I love that. You know, it takes some of the froth off the top of that good old cold beer that we drinking right now, you know, as a fan base. I like that a lot. You know, listen, other teams in the league are looking and they're listening, and they see all of this hype about the Detroit Lions. It's going to make them want to get up and play your team just to try to prove everybody wrong. It makes a hard road for your team when you do that. And when you're a young team like we are, and you're building the way, you're trying to get there, that's you know, it's not the greatest thing. You know, you want to continue to try to float up under the radar, and you want to surprise people when you're there. You know what I'm saying? You want to pop out and say, hi, surprise. You don't want everyone to know the surprise is coming. It just takes the buzz out of everything, right? So, you know, like I said, I'm loving that. Keep that going. ESPN, NFL Network, all of you analysts, you keep that going. Need you to slow down a little bit, Rich Eisen, man. And let us be that underdog team. Let us get there. Let us prove it, like Dan Campbell and some of the other veterans on the team have stated. Let us put the work in to get there. Don't give us a trophy now. You know what I'm saying? So all of the Vegas this and the betting that and screw all of that stuff. Let us put the work in. Let us prove it. That's what I want to see from this Detroit Lions team. So make sure that you guys are keeping up with everything that you can. You know, this information that we can get currently until it's game time. Also, make sure, you know, if you guys just seen the video playing in the background, shout out to Carl Collins, Carl Collins Productions. Make sure you're following him on all social media, but especially on YouTube. Man, inspirational hype videos for the ages. And, you know, he just did one for the Lions, man. It was 5 minutes long of glory. So make sure you guys go and subscribe to his channel and check some of those videos out, man, because the Detroit Lions season, you know, hype video is amazing. It's amazing. So with that said, leave it in the comment section, man. You know, anything that you want to mention about preseason training camp so far, what you like, what you dislike. I'm ready to talk all things Lions right now. So with that said, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.